Listen up, guys, because we have a new product alert from my absolutely favorite sponsor and a huge friend of the channel, Manscaped.com. They released a brand new product that, to be honest, I desperately needed, and that's the Weed Whacker Nose and Ear Hair Trimmer. Now, oh my god, I really can't believe I'm telling you guys this story, but have you ever been on a date with a girl and she kind of points out your nose hairs like while she's sitting across from you? Well, that's happened to me before. And dude, it was by far the most embarrassing thing on earth because I typically don't trim my nose hair. Thankfully, Manscaped is changing the grooming game with the Weed Whacker Nose and Ear Hair Trimmer. And they've spent over a year reinventing the traditional nose hair trimmer using only the best materials for the best performance and comfort possible. The way Manscaped is different from your traditional ear and nose hair trimmer is they use the same skin-safe technology from their lawnmower body trimmer, which helps reduce nicks, snags, and tugs, and anything else that would just cause you crazy pain as you're grooming yourself. They use a 9,000 RPM motor with a 360-degree rotary dual blade system to safely whack your nose hairs. It's water resistant, so you could take it in the shower, and it's the only nose hair trimmer on the market with a cordless rechargeable lithium-ion battery that lasts for up to 90 minutes of use. Now, if you happen to not purchase the lawnmower yet, well, I have some good news for you. The Weed Whacker is included in their brand new performance package, and typically a Weed Whacker, Crop Preserver, Crop Reviver, and Lawnmower 3.0 would cost you about $200, but now their performance package and peak hygiene plan is only $109.99. But get this, you can get an additional 20% off of your purchase if you use my promo code TheFlightMike for 20% off. That's promo code TheFlightMike for 20% off on Manscaped.com. And thank you, Manscaped, for the sponsor. So I'm excited to make this video because I have made a lot of speculative videos in the past about the Miami Heat, and I've made a lot of speculative videos in the past about Giannis Antetokounmpo. But this one report just makes so much sense to me, and we're going to really do a deep dive into it because I think it gives Giannis the greatest opportunity to win a championship. Cue the intro. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Your boy TheFlightMike back again with some NBA news. Guys, really quickly, before we even start this video, you need to pause it and let me know in the comment section down below, where do you think Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to sign? Not this free agency, but next free agency if he was given a choice, because now we have to dive into this. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen my video in the past about Giannis potentially joining the Golden State Warriors and how the Golden State Warriors can make it happen, but I'm actually way more enamored by this piece of info that I received today. And it was really early in the morning. I should have gotten this video out to you guys significantly earlier, but the PS5 was also announced, so I wanted to give you guys some time to go watch the PS5. And, you know, after the PS5 was introduced, then I would go live with this news. So also let me know if you guys are fascinated by the PS5. I also stream on Twitch on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 9 p.m. Pacific time, so make sure you check out my links in the description down below. But now, according to The Athletic's Shams Charania, he recently appeared on Complex's podcast, which, by the way, that just sounds so millennial. The Athletic's Shams Charania appeared on Complex's podcast. That just sounded really hard to report. The Miami Heat have made it known to the league that they are targeting Victor Oladipo and Giannis Antetokounmpo. This is very fascinating. They already have one maximum contract player on their roster in the form of Jimmy Butler, and the addition of Jimmy Butler in of itself was enough to catapult the Miami Heat to the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference. And this is one of the teams, they were at some point a 2nd seed in the Eastern Conference. This is a team that, if you were to ask me, they're beginning to kind of resemble the Los Angeles Clippers of last year, but plus. And what I mean by plus is the Los Angeles Clippers of last year, they didn't have an all-star, but the Miami Heat this year have Jimmy Butler. But they have something in addition to the Los Angeles Clippers that actually could put them in a phenomenal competition with the Golden State Warriors and the Milwaukee Bucks. If you ask me, and this is a little controversial, so you could let me know in the comment section down below if you agree with me. The one thing the Miami Heat have over any other team in the Eastern Conference, except maybe the Boston Celtics, is their culture. Their culture is, I know this is going to sound so cliche. Mike, what do you mean by culture? What does culture even mean? Bro, every player, every role player that the Miami Heat got their hands on, every piece of talent that the Heat got their hands on, I guess except for Justice Winslow and Dion Waiters, I'd say 70% of the talent they got their hands on, they were able to transform into the best version of themselves. You look at Kelly Olynyk, that contract when it was signed was horrific. He ended up being a fairly good player for them. You look at Derrick Jones Jr., a player that was just supposed to be a role player, but he is absolutely destroying it for them. You look at Duncan Robinson, a player that wasn't even drafted. He came out of nowhere and became one of the premier three-point shooters in the NBA. You look at Tyler Herro, who's a remarkable talent, who was only known for his ability to shoot threes. And he's playing really well in his first year, but he's playing how I expected him to play in year 3 of his career. So what I'm trying to say is, one thing the Miami Heat have down to a T is their culture. They've won championships in the past. Superstars want to go there and play there. They've been able to lure talents like Shaquille O'Neal and LeBron James and Chris Bosh and more recently Jimmy Butler over there. And yeah, sometimes they go into the offseason with crazy expectations and whiff. That's happened before. But they were able to bring a marquee free agent to Miami before, using another marquee star player. And I believe that's what they're trying to do here again. Now, here's the thing that's beautiful about this. Bam Adebayo is probably the biggest question mark in this scenario because he has one more year until he's going to have to get some big money. He has 1 year. Next year, he's going to be expected to receive $5 million. This year, he's getting $3.4 million. I don't know how that value is going to change based upon, COVID and everything. But the fact that they have Bam Adebayo, they're probably going to have to pay him a decent amount or match whoever wants to pay him because he made it to the All-Star game. You have Tyler Herro and Duncan Robinson that are barely getting paid anything. They're still going to be on like rookie scale contracts. You have room to sign 2 really good players. Now, here's the thing. It really depends on 2 factors. Well, multiple factors. One factor is what Victor Oladipo is expecting, what Victor Oladipo wants, what Victor Oladipo's market is like. Is he going to have this crazy loyalty towards Indiana? Is he going to say, this is where I've had the most success? I wasn't doing well in Orlando. I wasn't doing well in OKC. I'm doing well in Indiana. And as a result, I want to stay in Indiana. Or are the Indiana Pacers going to look at Oladipo and say, look, man, you've done good for us in the past, but you're damaged goods now. You're very injury prone. You're 28 years old. We don't see a point in paying you a long-term maximum level contract, which also could be the case. I don't really know what Indiana's perception of Victor Oladipo is. But let's just say that the Pacers don't want Victor Oladipo and Victor Oladipo is going hunting for a new team. The Miami Heat would make a lot of sense. It would make a ridiculous amount of sense. Now, what his role would be is also a question mark because at the same time, you have to bear in mind, it is almost impossible for me to place a value on Victor Oladipo right now. If you didn't know, this season, he's returned from injury. He's played 13 games. He's averaged 13.8 points per game, 3 assists, and 3.2 rebounds. His numbers are down across the board. He's shot 39% from the field, and he has a 12.0 player efficiency rating, which is also down from what he typically puts up. But he's only played 13 games, and he was out of the NBA for a year. So what do you expect from the guy? I can't put a value on him. But there's even a bigger thing that we have to pay attention to, and that's Giannis Antetokounmpo. I've said this in my Warriors video, so for those of you guys that are a diehard fan of the Mike Check 1212 Nation, guys, let me know in the comment section down below, what is the biggest determining factor for Giannis Antetokounmpo? What's the one thing that'll cause him to say, that's it, I gotta leave Milwaukee, I can't do this anymore? Bro, I'm gonna give you a couple seconds. You have it, you post it. All right, I'm gonna heart it if you get it right, by the way, guys. Guys, the number one determining factor for Giannis Antetokounmpo is his ability to win a championship this year. A lot of people aren't paying attention to this because the Milwaukee Bucks are playing really well. The Milwaukee Bucks are at their ceiling. This is the best they'll get. They weren't able to bring back Malcolm Brogdon. You know, that should give you a sign. They maxed out Chris Middleton. I don't want to talk badly about Chris Middleton. He's a great player, and I don't want to slander him. He is a top-tier player. He is a phenomenal player, and I'll say it over and over again because I know what I'm about to say is going to piss some people off. But bro, I don't see Chris Middleton as a player that's going to play a role in recruiting superstars to Milwaukee if Giannis Antetokounmpo leaves. I don't see Chris Middleton as a good, surefire, maximum contract player, and the Bucks gave that to him. Now, don't get it twisted. He's a remarkable player. He was an all-star this year. He is a phenomenal player. He's just not a top-tier star. He's not on Giannis's level. He's not on LeBron James's level. He's not on Anthony Davis's level, in my opinion. If you disagree with that, that's fine. So the one thing that'll cause Giannis Antetokounmpo to leave is if he makes it to the finals, or if he makes it to the conference finals, and he loses. And he loses either this year, because he could lose this year and say, listen, Milwaukee, I'm going to keep it 100 with you guys. There is no way we could win a championship. If we weren't able to win this year, when Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving haven't even played together yet, when the Raptors are still trying to figure out life after Kawhi Leonard, which they're doing a phenomenal job doing, by the way, when the Boston Celtics are still kind of developing, of course, they're a phenomenal team, but Jason Tatum could still use some more seasoning. Every year, Jaylen Brown seems to get a little bit better. If we weren't able to figure it out this year, we're only going to get worse from here on out. The competition's only going to get steeper. With that being said, if there was a team that I could choose, if I'm Giannis Antetokounmpo, I would 100% choose the Miami Heat over any team. And here is why. One, the culture. We already mentioned the culture. But on top of the culture, there's the fact that the Miami Heat are in a phenomenal, beautiful location, a large market that has already won championships before, and it's not going to be a scenario kind of like the way Kevin Durant went to the Golden State Warriors. He's not joining a team that won 73 games and then winning NBA Finals MVPs with them. He's forming a team, and he's pretty much doing what LeBron James did in 2010. This team, a big three of Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jimmy Butler, Victor Oladipo, is phenomenal. You add Tyler Herro to that as well? Are you kidding me? You add Duncan Robinson. You already have the role players doing really well. You have Bam Adebayo there too. You have Derrick Jones Jr. too. Now look, there's also a possibility that Giannis demands a trade. He could be very frustrated by the lack of success this offseason. Or he could keep quiet and just leave and join them in free agency. Either way, if you ask me, if I'm Giannis, I will want to go to the Miami Heat over any other team, because also the Eastern Conference is phenomenally weak, significantly weaker than the West. Dude, you don't have to go through Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. You don't have to go through LeBron James and Anthony Davis. You don't have to go through, I don't know, Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram in the first round if you make it to the number 1 seed. Dude, think of it this way. Russell Westbrook and James Harden are a 6th seed in the Western Conference. Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis are a 7th seed in the Western Conference. Like, you don't want to go through that. You want to go through, I don't know, Evan Fournier and Mo Bamba and Nikola Vucevic. You want to go through Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, who are clearly struggling prior to all the madness. You want to go through teams like that. So if you ask me, if there's one team that I believe Giannis Antetokounmpo is most likely to go to, and you could disagree with me, man, we could fight over this, it's the Miami Heat. And that's if he wants to leave the Bucks. That's not even a foregone conclusion. Let me know what you guys think about my opinion in the comment section down below. I'm your boy, TheFlightMike, and I'll catch you guys in our next upload.